Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A long time ago, I chaired this committee.
Did you? Oh, yes.
The equivalent on the metropolitan level. I'm here mostly for almost romantic reasons. The Bloor Street strip, that's been discussed all morning, afternoon, used to be my ward, the southern boundary of my ward, my old neighborhood. I also have cycled to work for 40 years, when the only bike lane was actually Bay Street, where the electric trolley bus would go down and you shared the bus lane. That was all. I've learned from another pilot project which was finalized in my old ward 40 years ago at least, and it's up near Yonge and St. Clair. It was the first installed speed bumps, and they were actually very sharp, the original ones. Now they're just humps.
Yeah.
Because that city council of that day recognized that if you want to force motorists to do something, you really have to force them. You put bumps there. It doesn't say much about Torontonians, about respecting speed limits, so you put something physical there. Well, the same is true for bike lanes. If you just paint a white lane, as quite a few of the deputants have shown, the white lane is not respected. So what you need is what is being proposed here. So I'm here, obviously, to support that. Now, Councillor Mammolitti has repeatedly worried about the slower speed. It's 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes longer now. It takes 2 minutes longer means the traffic is moving. And since I no longer can bike, I'm 80 years old, so I'm supposed not to be on a bike, I drive. And I can tell you that Bloor Street actually moves surprisingly well. I do some shopping on Bloor. I go to the Buck Barn, I go to the Korean store, and I shop on Christie Street. I know it very well, and I'm forced to use the car. Anyone who's commuting by car long distance to downtown Toronto along Bloor is an utter, total fool. Really, really. This is not a commuting area downtown. You take transit, you take an expressway at your own risk. The expressways are actually more congested. I retired in 2000 from council. In those 17 years, 350,000 more human beings have moved into Toronto. And they are not poor immigrants who wash dishes. They are people who own cars, who have jobs. That's why they come here. 350,000 more people. We've got to accommodate them. We haven't built a single road in the last 50 years. There's no space. Toronto was built like a small Scottish town with very narrow Presbyterian streets, 2 lanes. And they're way below standard, those lanes. And I always know when someone's from the suburbs because they get nervous driving on some of our arterials because they look so tiny. Go to Mississauga and see what the standards are. Lanes are hugely wider. So I would simply like to point out that what you're doing here is something which in my home country, which is Germany, has been done for half a century. There are bike lanes even out in the country between villages so kids can bike to school. And the climate isn't really that much warmer. The costs of your hitting someone going up Yonge Street with a bike in the right lane legally are problematic. They cost our health system enormous numbers of dollars. And if you just think there are 5,000 cyclists on Bloor Street, well, there are 5,000 passengers on the Leslie subway station on Shepherd. That station costs $500 million. What you're putting down with this pilot project, which are little poles, lines, screen paint, costs a whole lot less than $500 million. And the more people we can get out of cars, more commuters, more local shoppers, the more we benefit also because of the reduced risks.
So I think on this committee, I think I'm probably the only one that's had the privilege of working with you in the past. And I want to welcome you to City Hall, and you look fantastic. And I don't want to get into a debate with you.
I know. Councillor Mammel, you know very well why you don't. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that.